I never thought I would be the one to tell a horror story, let alone experience it firsthand. I'm just a regular guy with no talent for writing or storytelling. But after what I went through, I feel like I need to share my story, to warn others about the dangers of the dark web. It all started when I stumbled upon an online forum that claimed to be a gateway to the dark web. I was a curious person, and I've heard stories about this underground part of the internet where you can find anything and everything: illegal drugs, weapons, and even human organs for sale. It was like a forbidden fruit that I couldn't resist. I followed the instructions on the forum and downloaded a special browser. As I entered the dark web, I was greeted with a disturbing image of a bloody doll with a sinister smile. I brushed it off as some sort of shock tactic and continued my exploration. The first few sites I visited were just like any other websites, but as I dug deeper, the content became more and more disturbing. I stumbled upon a site that claimed to sell human souls, another one that offered torture services, and even a site that had a live stream of a person being eaten by cannibals. My curiosity quickly turned into fear, and I wanted to leave this dark world. But just as I was about to shut down my computer, I received a private message from a user with the username RedWraith666. The message read, "I see you've been browsing the dark corners of the web. Do you want to see the real horrors that lurk in the darkness?" Feeling a mixture of fear and excitement, I replied with a simple yes. The user then sent me a link to a live stream. The video showed a dark room with a hooded figure standing in the corner. I could hear someone crying and begging for mercy. The hooded figure slowly turned towards the camera, revealing a grotesque face with red glowing eyes. I was about to close the tab when my computer suddenly shut down, and I heard a sinister laughter coming from outside my room. I ran to my window and saw a figure in a red hood standing outside, staring straight at me. I shut the curtains and tried to calm myself down, thinking it was all just a prank. But that night, as I was lying in bed, I could hear whispers coming from my computer. I dismissed it as just my imagination, but then I heard a knock on my door. I was too scared to move, but the knocking became louder and more persistent. I mustered up the courage to check, but as I opened the door, I was greeted with a loud scream followed by darkness. I woke up in a dark room, my hands tied to a chair. The hooded figure from the live stream was standing in front of me, tormenting me with my deepest fears and insecurities. I begged for mercy, but the figure just kept laughing and whispering, "Welcome to the darkness." It felt like an eternity, but somehow I managed to break free and run for my life. I never went back to the dark web after that, and I could still hear those evil whispers every time I closed my eyes. I've always been fascinated by the internet. As a teenager growing up in the 90s, I spent hours browsing forums and chat rooms, soaking up information and connecting with people from all over the world. But when I stumbled upon the dark web, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It all started innocently enough. I was bored one night, and a friend told me about this mysterious part of the internet where you could find anything and everything. Curiosity got the best of me, and I downloaded a special browser called Tor and went exploring. At first, it was just a bunch of creepy websites and forums filled with conspiracy theories and illegal activities. But then, I found a chat room where people were talking about a game called the Red Room. They said the game was an ultimate test of bravery and could only be accessed through a special link on the dark web. Whoever completed the game would be rewarded with anything they desired. I scoffed at first, thinking it was just a bunch of wannabe hackers trying to scare people. But something about it drew me in. Before I knew it, I had clicked on the link and entered the Red Room. The game was simple enough, just a series of tasks that I had to complete. The first few were harmless, just things like watching videos and solving puzzles. But as I progressed, the tasks became more sinister. I was told to harm myself in various ways, and even commit crimes like stealing and trespassing. I tried to back out, but something kept me going. It was like I was being controlled by an outside force. Eventually, I reached the final task. I was instructed to enter a live video stream and watch a brutal murder. This was the ultimate challenge, and if I could stomach it, I would win the game. I hesitated, but my curiosity got the better of me, and I clicked on the link. What I saw was something straight out of a horror movie. A masked figure was viciously torturing a young woman, all while a group of people watched and cheered. I was immediately sickened and horrified. But before I could turn off my computer, the masked figure turned to the camera and spoke to me, calling me by name and threatening me if I didn't complete the task. I was frozen in fear and couldn't move as I watched the murder play out. And when it was all over, I was declared the winner of the Red Room. But I didn't feel like a winner. I felt violated and traumatized. And that's when the messages started coming in, strange, cryptic warnings and threats. I knew I had made a grave mistake by entering the Red Room, and now I was paying the price. I tried to delete everything and forget about it, but the dark web was like a parasite that had taken over my life. Everywhere I went, I saw glimpses of that masked figure. And the messages kept coming, reminding me of the blood on my hands. I've since abandoned the dark web and tried to move on with my life. But I can feel a dark presence constantly looming over me. The game may be over, but I fear the consequences will last a lifetime. I was surfing the internet one night, boredom getting the best of me. I stumbled upon this thing called the dark web. I had heard of it before, but never actually explored it. So, I clicked on the link and it took me to this website that looked like it was from the 90s. There were all sorts of weird things for sale on there. Drugs, weapons, even human organs. But what caught my attention was a button that said "Enter the Abyss" located at the very bottom of the page. Intrigued, I clicked on it and suddenly my screen went black. I couldn't see anything, but I could hear voices whispering. It sounded like they were right next to me. I tried to exit the website, but my mouse wouldn't budge. I was stuck. Then, I heard someone say my name. I was frozen with fear. The whispers grew louder, and I couldn't take it anymore. I closed my laptop and took a deep breath. I thought it was all just a weird glitch. But that's when the emails started. They were from an unknown sender, but they knew my name. The first one said, "I see you." The next one had a photo of me, taken from inside my room. I was terrified, but I didn't know what to do. The emails kept coming, each one more disturbing than the last. Each one had a threat, warning me to never go on the dark web again. But I couldn't resist the curiosity. I went back on the website and clicked on "Enter the Abyss" again. This time, I saw a video of a person being tortured and killed. I immediately closed my laptop and told myself I would never go on that website again. But the emails kept coming. The person behind them knew everything about me. My address, my daily routine, my deepest fears. I felt like I was being watched constantly. One day, I came home from work to find a package on my doorstep. It was a laptop with a note that said, "Enter the Abyss one last time." I tried to throw it away, but it kept reappearing on my doorstep. In a moment of weakness, I opened the laptop and clicked on the link. That's when I saw a live video of my own house. My heart dropped as I saw someone entering my room. I ran to my room, but it was too late. The person had taken my lifeless body and put it on the display on the dark web. They won and I lost. I learned my lesson that day. The dark web is not a place for the curious. And once you enter, there's no going back.